Oh, great. Thank you, Anne. Oh my gosh. All right, wonderful. Yay. So sorry for all this. Anyway, welcome to your home studio. Yeah, so I didn't ask any of you to sign any waivers, but if you've been working with me for a while, then you know to be safe with your own practice, but just be careful at home since I can't quite see everybody and I can't see you at all actually. So just make sure that you're practicing your ahimsa, your nonviolence, and just being careful with your own bodies. All right, so we don't have our huge prop wall like we do at the studio, so hopefully you've arranged either a cushion, a bolster. If you don't want to sit on the floor, you don't have to. You could sit in a chair. Just try to be comfortable, and if you have blocks or props, you're welcome to use those as well. All right, so just settling into your space and noticing if your sit bones are getting equal weight. Does one feel heavier than the other? And if you feel like one is heavier than the other, then just trying to rock forward and back a little bit or side to side until you find that centered home. Maybe drifting the shoulders up towards the ears on an inhale and then rolling them back on your exhale. Eventually letting the shoulders drift away from the ears are rising from the shoulders, the chin just dropping in ever so slightly. Allowing the eyes to close or keep them open in a steady gaze, your choice. So you begin to notice the ground coming up to support you, sensing all the connections at your feet, ankles, legs, to your sit bones. That energy rising up, creating space through each vertebrae, the crown of the head rising. Begin to tune into our other senses, so noticing the sounds of the space around you. And maybe the sound of your own breath. And beginning, if you haven't already, noticing the sensation of the air flowing in and out the tips of the nostrils. So maybe the temperature as it heads towards the back of the throat versus the temperature that's heading towards your upper lip. And then if you haven't already, just noticing the quality of your breath without changing it or judging it to be right or wrong, and just noticing the quality, the depth, the speed, the movement in your body. You might invite next one hand on the belly. You suggest maybe the right hand on the belly, the left hand on the heart space. And noticing as you breathe in, the belly is expanding, while the one at the upper space, the chest space, is not moving quite as much. It's just a little bit softer. And see if we can start to regulate the inhale to the exhale. So creating a length of your inhale that's equal to the length of your exhale. If you like to start with a 5 count, it's that 5 count in and a 5 count out. If that seems too short, you can make it longer, and if it's too long, you can make it shorter. It should just feel smooth. And once you've got the hand or the belly movement down with the chest being soft, you don't have to have the hands there. You could just let them rest down. So just creating that equal length of your inhale to an equal length of your exhale. Okay, 2 more breaths like that. Let your minds be only on the breath. after your next exhale, just returning to a comfortable rhythm of breath without changing anything. Just notice the quality. As it shifted? Is anything different than when you were just doing it earlier? All right. Opening up the eyes if they're not already, taking the hands to midline, and just pausing to create an intention for your day. So how is it that you would like to show up the rest of this day? With that, we'll let that intention go. On the inhale, rising up, and then on the exhale, spanning out cactus arms. We'll go 2 more times in that same direction. Okay, pausing there in cactus, head up through cactus, back to palms together, and right down your center, exhaling. Okay, 2 more. Pausing here, clasping the hands, begin a figure 8 or infinity sign. And just like you've never done this before, just having that curiosity mind, that beginner's mind. Pausing wherever you are and begin to head the other direction. Right. We'll send the palms outward and upward. Sometimes outward is just enough. You don't have to go all the way up. If up feels okay, you're spreading those arms up towards the sky, lower ribs relax to your seat. Relax your jaw. Take a breath in, press the skin of the palms up, and then exhale, pushing them out and away. Come back to center, change the clasp 1 finger over, or outward and upward, rising up. Lower ribs relax to your seat, let go of your jaw. Okay, take a breath in, spread the skin of the palms up, and then exhale, pushing them out and away. Okay, coming back to center. All right, let's take the neck for a little bit of range. So we're gonna drop the chin down towards the chest. And then almost like you're spanning the collarbone on one side towards the shoulder. A half moon shape up towards the sky, spanning the sky, over to the other shoulder, back to collarbone, and back to chest. 1 more time in that same direction, only going whatever feels safe for you this morning. Pausing when you get to the chest again, and then begin to head the other direction. So again, it's that inhale on the way up, and an exhale on the way down. We're pausing here, and then coming back to center. All right. Let's take, I'm going to try to use as least props as I can because I don't know what everybody has at home. I didn't prep everybody for that. So let's just do a little propless kind of practice unless you have your stuff with you. All right, we're going to take one hand to the side and I will show a prop way to do this if you want to do it with a prop. If you have a block and it's just hard to get your arm down to the side, you can use that. Otherwise, hand down to the floor, elbow's going to bend in towards your side. The opposite hip grounding, you can even give a little press down there. The other arm's going to reach up and over. I like to look down on this one, but you may also look forward or even up. So just be curious what feels better in your own body. Okay, we'll take a breath in, reaching towards the opposite side. Exhale, releasing all the way up. We'll set the opposite hand down, bending into that elbow to bring the shoulder down, pressing into that opposite hip as you rise up and away. And again, just be curious where it feels best for your head and your neck. Still breathing into the upside body. 1 more breath. Reaching as you press through the opposite hip and then exhale, rising all the way up. All right. Let's come on to hands and knees. So you may want a blanket under your knees. I don't know what you have, what supports you're under, if you have carpet or hardwood or tile, but if your knees are a little sensitive, you might want to just put an extra blanket support underneath them. All right. We come hands to knees, and we start with what I call hip swivels. So starting to roam about the space. And you can make them tall and small at first and see if there's any nourishing bits there. And then if it feels better to go a little bit wider and broader. I'm going to show this from the front. I have my magic two-sided mat here. And all I ask is that you're breathing. Breathing in one direction, breathing out the other. All right, and then begin to make it a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller until you come back to home. So pausing there and begin to head the other direction. I don't know if I switched. I don't think I did. There we go. All right, you can make it tall and small, or you can start to make it bigger and broader. It's your choice. It's always your practice, whatever feels good for you today. Right, and then maybe making it a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller until it comes back to center. I'm gonna switch back to my other side here. You can always roll the end of your mat up to give your wrist a little bit more comfort by placing the palm on that squishy part and letting your fingers drape off. You don't have to, just an option. We're going to take one foot back into half plank. As we shift forward, it'll be an exhale. So I'm shifting, exhaling forward, and then inhaling back, pressing into the heel. When you slip back into that heel, pausing there, shoulders remain broad, back of the neck is long so that you're not looking down too far and you're not looking up too far. Maybe one more breath in and out. Coming back to center, pausing there, and begin to head on to the other side. You can always do a little shake out of your wrist if you need to. Right. This time we're going to exhale as we shift forward and inhale as we shift back. So exhale and inhale. Okay, next time you slip back into the heel, we'll pause there. Shoulders are broad, jaws relaxed. You can press through the middle knuckle space of your hands to take more weight off your wrist. After that next breath out, coming back into center, you can shake out the wrist. We're going to open up the knees wide and settle back into child's pose. Now, if you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, I'm not quite sure who's on with me here right now, but I'm just making sure that you're not just doing a full round in, maybe more of a puppy dog pose. And then, of course, child's pose could be with hands under your forehead or back by your body if that feels better. I ask there is that you're taking a deeper breath in, filling your belly space, exhaling, mouth open. All right, on your next exhale, slowly rising up. We'll come back onto hands and knees. So hands are going to be under your shoulders, knees are under your hips. We'll take one foot back into half plank. So you're going to broaden your shoulders, elbow creases are turning forward rather than inward without locking out the elbow. It's not very pretty. It's not super healthy. So just a little bit of bend in that elbow. You're going to lift that back leg just enough to keep the hips parallel to the floor. Opposite arm's going to reach forward. On the exhale, you're going to draw them both in together. And on the inhale, you're going to reach away. You can also do this with just the hand or just the leg. So you could have your leg supported and then just do the leg. You could have your leg supported and just do the arm. All right, just 20 more. Just kidding. All right. It's fun when you just get to laugh with yourself and you have no idea who's listening. All right, maybe two more. You can always stop whenever you want to. That's the beauty about you being hidden and I can't see you. All right, Take a little break off those wrists. And then coming back to center, we're going to switch sides. So switching to the other side, half plank, shoulders are broad, elbow creases forward. You're going to lift that opposite leg, other arm reaching forward. On your exhale, they're coming towards center, not really to round. You'll see my back, I think, is flat-ish. So exhaling and inhaling. That standing shoulder stays broad. Good, 2 more. You can, again, always stop before I say. That's called practicing your ahimsa, your nonviolence. All right. Take a break off those arms. You can open up the knees wide and settle back either into child's pose, puppy dog, or perhaps kneeling feels better today. So just take your pick. Wherever you are, child's, puppy dog, or kneeling, just taking a deeper breath into your back side ribs. So inhaling, expanding, exhaling fully. All right. So we're going to come up into tall kneeling. If tall kneeling doesn't feel good on the knees today, maybe just stay in hands and knees first and then go through the poses as we go. Okay, so we're going to do a little flow of poses. I might show it both directions here. So let's take a rise up as we're in kneeling mountain, rising up towards the sky. Inhale, exhale, grounding down. Inhale as we come into cow pose. And then tucking those toes, rising up, downward facing dog. You can walk your dog or wag your tail. So wagging your tail, maybe shifting the hips side to side. Walking your dog, maybe bending one knee and then straightening the other. I'm going to stay here for 5 minutes. You don't have to. Just kidding. Yeah, we're not going to stay that long. You can always come down whenever you want. All right, maybe one more breath here. Good. Lowering down, find child's, puppy dog, or kneeling. Again, child's could be here, child's could be here, child's could be here. Again, trying to expand those back side ribs as you inhale, exhale, mouth open. Right, next breath, slowly rising up. We're back up onto the knees, tall kneeling into mountain pose. Maybe I'll go this way this time. A little different vantage point. All right, so tall kneeling, rising up, inhale, greeting the sky. Exhale, bowing down. Inhale, cow pose. And then tucking those toes, exhale, rising up, downward dog. Okay, this time lift up onto the toes, send your heels up towards the sky as your hips go up. Keeping your hips in that lifted position, draw the heels back towards the floor. And then we're going to play with opposites. So pressing through right hand and left foot. Left hand and right foot. My mat is quite slippery on this floor. Continue to alternate. It's not a big shifting, it's very subtle. One more breath in and out. Coming back to center, opening up the knees wide, either coming back to child's, again, puppy dog, or kneeling, whichever is most restful. I'm just going to stay in kneeling, but that doesn't mean you have to. One more full breath in and out. All right, beginning to rise up again slowly. Never want to come up fast from a head down position, so as not to get dizzy. So coming into tall kneeling, mountain pose, rising up, inhale, greeting the sky, it's up there somewhere. Exhale, grounding down, inhale to cow pose, and then tucking those toes, finding yourself in downward dog. I promise this is the last version. All right. So if you like, you can shift forward into plank. You don't have to. If your hands are getting tired, you can also do this on your forearms. And then you're back to downward dog. I know hands are not really made for walking, but they can be trained. But this is the way you would do it if you were going to do your forearm version. Maybe 1 or 2 more shifts. You always get to decide how many, especially since I can't see you. All right, exhaling. Not that it would matter if I could. You can still always choose. All right, last time into down dog, pausing there. Good, settling the knees back down. Open up the knees wide. Child's puppy dog or kneeling. Breathe in, fill your belly into your thighs. Exhaling, mouth open, relax your jaw. All right, and slowly rising. Okay, if you're not dizzy, which I hope that you're not, just get up slowly. You can start to move about. Let's come off of our hands and knees and come into standing. So if you have your blocks, you can have them close to you. If you don't worry about it. All right, so I'm gonna stand in a little bit more of a what we call starfish pose. So feet are coming out wide. We're gonna lift up, inhale, lifting the sternum, and the whole shoulder is rotating, not just the forearm. So rising up, inhale, exhale, spanning down. You don't have to, I just realized I'm pretty wide-legged here. We don't have to be that wide. Okay. Next time the palms come up, we're gonna take a little side bend over, so we call seaweed. I'm gonna come in a little bit with my feet. Exhale, rising up, and inhale. Good, sorry, it's an inhale up and exhale over. Look at my breath pattern here. One last time. Good. Rising up, clasping onto those hands. I'm just going to come a little bit more narrow, so maybe like the width of your mat. Take an inhale and open up the chest, and then bending at those knees, exhale, folding forward. I'll show this from the side just so you can see that my back is somewhat flat, my head's relaxed, but I can also be up here and do this too. Maybe one more breath in and out. Use those hands, bending at the knees, exhale, rising up slowly. Releasing the arms, inhale, rising, and exhale, coming back to center. All right. Let's take if you have blocks, you can put them in front of you. If you don't worry about it. All right. So we're gonna spread the feet out wide. Your feet are about hip width apart. You spread your feet out wide, sending the pinkies down and then drag the other toes towards center. We're gonna lift onto the toes or towards the toes if you have a wall next to you and you feel imbalanced, but you know what, just try it. Just try it and see how it goes. It doesn't have to be, just lift a little bit even if you feel a little bit unsteady. That's the whole point, as long as you stay on your feet. All right, take an inhale. And then feet coming back to the ground, exhale, folding forward. You might find your blocks. You can also just come to your thighs, your shins. We're gonna inhale halfway up. I like to show this one from the side. Then inhale halfway up. It either comes up onto the thighs or the fingertips on the block. The back stays flat. I'm not coming up to round like this, but it's more of a flattish back. And then after that inhale, when we exhale, you can fold forward. You can take your blocks on any side. Some of you might be at the floor, and some of you might be at the thighs, and that's okay too. Show the mid-range version. You might want to rock a little bit side to side. If this bothers your back at all, please just bend the knees a little bit or come up slowly. Come out of it. One more breath in and out. Bending at the knees, hands to hips or thighs. Exhale, rising up. Take an inhale, greeting the sky. Exhale, come back to center. Mountain pose. One full breath in and out. All right. We're going to go again this time, going through chair pose. So again, feet are about hip width apart. Toes are spread. We're going to rise up either towards the toes or onto the toes. Steady breath, steady gaze. Feet are going to come back down. We're going to reach forward, chair pose. I'm going to show this one from the side too, so you can see my tailbone is a little bit untucked versus rounded. My back is somewhat flat, and the arms, while it's still reaching, still drawing back into the shoulder blades. And then the next version is the knees are pressing apart from one another rather than coming in together. One more breath. All right, we're going to exhale, fold from here. Again, going to your blocks, your thighs, your shins. Inhale halfway up in that lengthened spine. And then exhaling, finding your way back down. And keep your knees bent here if that feels better for your back. One more breath in and out. Knees are bent, hands to hips or thighs, and exhale, rising up slowly. Back up onto the toes again, rising up. And coming back to center. Mountain pose, one full breath in and out. All right, this time we're going to go down, up and down the same way, but we're going to come back with our arms coming back through chair pose. All right, so if your feet have somehow misplaced themselves, getting them hip width apart again, toes are spread. We're going to rise up towards the toes or onto the toes. Steady breath, steady gaze. All right, swinging back. We're going to swing forward so we can get some momentum on the way back. So I am, again, in that hinged position and my shoulders are coming back. I'm not thrusting the head forward. Swing back this way. Can always come out before I say. One more breath in. Out, reaching forward. Rising up, inhale, up onto the toes or towards the toes. And then coming back to center. Mountain pose. One full breath in and out. All right. Let's step. We're using blocks to step them to the side. I'm going to come more or less to the front of the mat. If I go to the front of my mat, though, you're going to lose my head, so I'm going to stay back here. But you can come to the front of your mat. You're going to spread the toes of your, I'm just going to go literal here today because I will get messed up, your left foot. Your left foot is going to spread and grounding down. You're going to start to take your weight onto that leg, lifting the right leg. So you're either toe planted or you're lifted, your choice. Just do something that feels challenging but also safe. Whoop. All right, and then you're going to slowly bring that leg back until you find ground. We're coming into a warrior one position where your hips are facing forward. The back foot might even be more forward than out. When you bend into the front knee, it stays in line with your ankle. We'll do a few dynamic warriors as we rise up, inhale, and exhale, pushing down. Inhale, rising. Exhale, pushing down. Last one. This time we're rising up, shoulders are out of the ears. We're going to grasp onto your right wrist. Take an inhale as you press through the back heel, and an exhale off towards the left. Just put your head and neck in a comfortable position. You might even want to rest it on that bottom arm if it fits. Good. One more breath as we reach up and away and back through that back heel. Exhale, rising up, releasing. Maybe hands to hips, or hands can be free as you start to take your weight onto that front leg again, either toe planting or balancing. Great. And then coming back to center. All right. One more breath in and out, mountain pose. Thighs are strong here. This is not a lazy pose. All right. We're heading on to your right foot now, so you're going to spread the toes of that right foot. And then you're taking that weight onto that foot as you offload this other, either toe planting or lifting the whole leg. And then you're going to slowly take that leg back. I swear I had this all lined up till the audio issues this morning. Oh well. Okay, hips facing towards the front of your mat, bending into the front knee, which stays in line with your ankle. It's not going this way or too far that way. And we'll start with our dynamic warrior. Bending in, rising up, inhale. Exhale, pushing back and down. 2 more. Last one through the movement. Great. This one, we're rising up. You're going to grasp onto your left wrist. Inhale up and then exhale over towards the right. Keep wanting to say windows or bookshelves, but you guys don't have that in your house, so or you do, but it's oriented differently. I know you have windows in your house. All right, take an inhale as we press through the back heel and up through the upper arm, and exhale back to center. Releasing arms, releasing leg. We're going to take our weight onto that left leg. I'm just going to back it up here so I'm not out of the screen. Bending in, stepping on to either toe plant or lift that leg up. And come back to center. Mountain pose, 1 full breath in and out. All right. We're going to start to take ourselves into warrior 2. So you might want to situate yourself so that your mat is long ways. And I'll give you a chance to do that for your screen wise. And maybe I'll just adjust my camera just a second here so we get more of B in here. Sorry. Okay, that might work. Yay, here I am. I'm not headless. Okay. So your hips are facing the long side of your mat, your hip bones. And when you start to bring this foot out, it does not have to be parallel to the mat. Just forget you're even on a mat, so to speak. Your hip bones line up with the long side of the mat so that when your knee bends in, it's in line with your ankle and your foot and your hip. If I were to go out here and try to be parallel and try to bend in, my hips are now going that way and my knee is all torqued. So this is your honor system here. You're just trying to honor your hip bones and your pelvis. So bending in and then rising back up. Now we're going to bring in the arms. So coming into warrior 2. I like to do this with the palms up these days. I don't know why. We're going to do a little bit of both though. So on the inhale, we're lifting up, just as we did in starfish, and then on the exhale, we're going to press down. Two more. Good. Next time the palms come up, you are now going to gaze out past your right hand, or the front hand, whatever side you're doing. If you like a mudra to add index finger to thumb, Jnana mudra, it's a mudra of wisdom. Shoulders can be soft, and gazing out past those hands, just so you can see the hand, but you can also see what's beyond it. You can always come out of your leg if you need to. Okay, take the back palm, face it down, the opposite arm rising up towards the sky. Still breathing. Only look up if it feels okay. You can always look forward. Okay, take a breath in, and then you're reaching out. We're going to plant that hand or that arm on your thigh. I'm still trying to stay long here, so I'm not just kind of crunching in. So getting long, resting here. Opposite arm coming either up towards the sky and over. It could be up. It could be on your hip if your shoulder is bothersome. It could also be back behind you. I'm going to show this version. I'm pressing down with my bottom hand so that my elbow, so that my shoulder can open. Maybe one more breath here. I'm gonna reach as I press through my back heel, breathing in and breathing out. Release that front leg a moment. Rest the arms. We're gonna keep the legs here unless you need a little break. I'm gonna walk my back leg in a bit. All right, let's head into triangle pose, Trikonasana. Arms are gonna reach. We're gonna lengthen out, so you're lengthening out, and you can even have your hands on your hips if that helps to kind of press those out as you kind of try to extend your torso. And then that bottom arm is gonna come to somewhere on your thigh, the other arm reaching to the sky. So I could be here, some of you might be able to go here. I could be here, 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 here. Okay, there's lots of options. All I ask is that you're breathing consciously. One more breath in and out. Good. On your exhale, maybe bend the front knee a little bit. Come back into warrior two. Woohoo, there we are again. Index finger to thumb if you like that mudra, gazing out towards your front hand. Taking an inhale. Exhale, coming back to center. Woo. And then you can heel toe it in, or if you like a hop, I'm not going to take your hops away from you. All right. Pause here, take a pause in mountain, one full breath in and out. All right, let's head to the other side. If you need a little shake out of those hips, maybe they need a little hula, you can do that. All right, start to head to the other side. So now your left foot's gonna be your leading leg. And if you somehow did the other leg, that's okay, don't worry about it. All right. So hip bones again are lined up to the long side of the mat. You're bending into the front knee that stays in line with your ankle and your knee, hip, knee, ankle. All right, we're gonna bend in. I didn't cue this on the last one, but this can happen a lot is that, and I know this because I do it, is that back knee can hyperextend. So maybe just a little bit of bend in it. Lifting of that back arch can help too, so that you're not just planting into the arch and hyperextending that knee. So if you bend the knee a little bit, lift the arch just a slight bit. All right. Arms reaching out. So that's your inhale, and then your exhale, palms down. You can always come out of your front leg too for a rest point if you need to. Last one. Next time the palms go up, we'll hold them there. If you like that mudra, index finger to thumb, Jnana mudra. Gazing out towards that front hand or that left hand. Shoulders are soft. Take an inhale, reaching through those arms. Exhale, release, come back to center. I feel like I missed a step there, but that's okay. We're gonna bend into this front knee. I'm lengthening. I wanted really to give myself a rest from that knee. All right, so we're lengthening in, and you can pull down on the rib cage and the hips to do that so that you get long through here rather than just kind of curling in. And then you're gonna rest that front elbow on the thigh. If that seems far, you can always just have your hand there. I like to keep my palm up just so it's energized. I'm pressing down through my elbow as I rise up and away. This front knee again, watch it. It wants to curl in, don't let it. This top hand again can be here. It can also be here. It does not have to be reaching. It could be anywhere along the range. Relax your jaw, your eyes, your shoulders. One more breath, reaching through the back heel, the top hand. Exhale, rising up, release that leg. We're gonna keep the legs here for Trikonasana, triangle pose. All right, reaching those arms, gliding forward. So again, I'm keeping that long torso, I think. Bending or dropping that bottom arm, the other arm reaching away. So you've got this wingspan spreading out. This is another one where the knees can hyperextend. So just watch that front knee, maybe bending a little bit, maybe even the back leg bending a little bit, lifting those arches. Good, take one more breath in, reaching through fingertip to fingertip, bending into the front knee, exhale, rising up back to warrior two. I know, remember what I forgot, okay. Yay, I must have heard somebody saying it. Exalted Warrior. We're gonna take the back palm down, reaching up towards the sky. Just a little different order, but we're gonna get it in. So just be careful of just hinging back into that back. You're still lengthening up as you're bending back, or just even being tall is sometimes enough. One more breath. Back to Warrior Two arms. Coming back to center. Okay. You can heel toe or hop it in. Okay. Find mountain pose. One full breath in and out. All right. Let's add a little bit of balance into our practice today. So if you have a wall near you or a sturdy chair or a counter, you may use that as some support. Just don't put all of your support on that. You want to challenge yourself enough. So I'm gonna stand on my left leg first. Doesn't really matter which one you choose first, but spreading your toes out wide, so send your pinky out and then drag the other toe towards center. You're gonna take your weight onto that leg. The other leg, we're gonna lift up and open that knee out to the side. So it's like tree, but it's not. Tree would be here. We just got a little bit more opening. I'd like to show the back wall, like if you want the wall behind you instead, so that you can completely have support, you can do that version too. Or a bookshelf. Steady breath, steady gaze. You can have the support of the wall or the chair, or you can let that arm be free. And if you want to challenge your balance even more, you're going to take your gaze down towards that outstretched hand. You can always come out before I say. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to center, releasing. And you can hula, shake out those hips, a little bit of fist bump, just whatever feels good for those hips to let them go. All right, we got the other side now. I'm gonna go sand support and on extra squishy mat. All right, so spreading the toes of the opposite, but which in my case would be the right. We're gonna take your weight onto that side, start to bring that knee up towards you, and then opening it out to the side. You'll notice I'm flexing my foot versus pointing. No right or wrong there, just be curious about which one feels more energizing. And the other arm is going to reach out to the side, maybe holding onto a wall or support of some kind, a chair. And if you want to challenge your balance a little bit more, taking your gaze out past that outstretched arm. Steady breath, steady gaze. Standing leg is a little bit bent. Don't lock it out. Great, for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to center and releasing down. All right, again, fist bump or shake out those hips. Just gonna see what my time is. All right, I'm gonna start winding down. So let's start to bring ourselves back to the floor. Yeah, let's just get there. We'll come onto the floor. You can have a blanket support under your head, or just make it light if you're going to do that, or have nothing, okay, because we're going to do a few bridges. The other option is to have the blanket pressed down, and then your shoulders are coming off the edge of the blanket. I'm just going to adjust the camera one last time just so we've got more of a floor view here. Woo! I'm going to totally dismount the camera. All right. So coming with your back on the floor, knees are bent with your feet about hip width apart. See if you can even spread your toes here. We're going to do a dynamic bridge pose. So on the inhale, we're going to rise up. Arms are coming up as your hips are coming up. There's a pause. And then they're both coming down together. Hips, arms, all at once. There's a pause, and then rising up again. You can also just stop the arms somewhere halfway if it doesn't feel good to go all the way back. You can even have the elbows bent and do something like that, just as long as you're doing a mindful movement of the body with the breath. And then it's a coming down. Pausing to relax. Let's do 2 or 3 more. Watch for breath holding, watch for jaw tightening. Last one, unless you're coming to a rest at this point, it's fine too. Coming down to rest completely, maybe bringing knees to chest, hugging in. If both knees at the same time doesn't feel good, you can always do one at a time. Knees can be wide, they could also be narrow. All right, setting those feet back down. If you want something more under your head, well, let's see. Yes, you can. You can put something more under your head if you want, if you haven't already. All right, we're gonna cross one ankle over the knee, coming into pigeon on back, or thread the needle, some people call it. So you're gonna bring that knee in towards you. I like to grab onto the knee and the foot versus coming back around that thigh. I just feel like it gives me a little bit more control and playroom. So shoulders are relaxed. Tailbone is coming towards the floor rather than lifting up away. You can always come out before I say. Maybe one more breath in and out. We'll take that foot back to the ground, cross that leg all the way over so you're sitting lady style in a chair. Whatever leg is on top, you're going the opposite direction. So my right leg is on top, I'm letting my legs drift off to the left. My opposite arm is going to reach out. I guess it's my same arm. And then hand to maybe the thigh. If it feels like too much of a twist, you can also put a block there. Just to show that version here. You can put a block there to catch your leg. Again, if you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, maybe just stopping somewhere up higher when you're not getting a lot of rotation in the spine. Exhaling, coming back up to center, releasing those legs, switching sides. All right, so thread the needle first, where you're either maybe grabbing your foot and your knee, or you're wrapping around, your choice. And the tailbone is coming closer to the floor rather than lifting away, and the shoulders and jaw are relaxed. After your next exhale, dropping that foot to the floor, crossing the top leg over, lady style. We'll let the legs drop off towards the side, opposite arm reaching out, hand maybe to the thigh. Ooh, that's quite extreme. So maybe a block or a pillow might be helpful to catch your legs. Breathing into that upside body. In my case, my left side body upside. On your next exhale, rising up slowly. Releasing those legs. Feet out to the wide side of the mat. Arms can be out in a T shape or an I shape. As your knees go off, as we head into windshield wipers, knees go off one direction. If your arms are up above you, you can reach that same arm, or I guess it's the opposite arm. So when my legs are going right, my left arm is reaching up. And then exhale, coming back to center, and then I'm switching. Now I'm reaching with my right arm as my legs go off to the left. Breathe into the upside body. Exhale back to center. Maybe one more on each side. You can also have the arms out in a T or just on your belly too. Coming back to center, if you need just a little last hug in, if there's anything that your body wants to do before we head into our relaxation, you're welcome to. We didn't do any really inversions except for down dog, so you can always bring hands, legs up. All right. So finding your way into relaxation pose. I realize my battery is going dead, so while you're laying in relaxation, I'm going to get some more power for my phone, so don't think that I've left. So just laying on your back, you can have your head with some support. You can put a pillow or a bolster under your thighs. Hands could be on your belly, hands could be stretched out. You just want to be comfortable. Please be warm. If you need socks on or a blankie over you. You know, we don't have prop village like we do at the studio, so just making sure that you have your comforts. Okay. So taking you into your relaxation. My battery's last. Allowing the eyes to close or keep them open in a steady gaze. I'm sitting, but you should be laying down at this time, okay, just so you know. Beginning to let go of the thinking, worrying, planning, worrying muscles of the face. So letting go of the wrinkles of the forehead as they smooth out. Letting the space between the eyebrows soften and broaden. The eyes becoming heavier and more still. Relaxing the joint of the jaw, creating a little space in the teeth, letting go of the tongue. Letting your whole back body surrender to the earth below you and allowing all of that support to come up to meet you. Nowhere to be, nothing to do for the next few moments. This time is yours. Any thoughts that arise, just letting them drift down as though leaves just dropping from a tree. Without following their story, without passing judgment. They're just a reminder to come back to the breath moving in and moving out. Extension cord.
It's in the box in the garage.
Beginning to take a deeper breath. Filling the belly as you breathe in, exhaling fully. Bringing some mindful awareness to your hands and or feet. Maybe strumming the tips of the fingers or curling in the fingers and the toes on an in-breath, releasing on an out-breath, and or rolling wrists and ankles. And actually bringing maybe a cat stretch, cat stretch if you like a cat stretch, before bringing your knees in towards your chest. Doing a little hug in before you roll onto one side. Pausing there to recall your intention for your day. How is it that you were planning to show up the rest of this day? Eventually using your exhale and your top arm to slowly bring your body back up. Finding a comfortable sit spot with all of your supports that you need. Great. We'll bring this little practice in, a parigraha of letting go or detachment. So you're going to place something mentally in the side of your hands that you don't want to take with you today. An angry thought, a judgment, a past memory, something that you're harboring you don't want to take with you. You're tired of it. You're tired of holding on to it and you want to let it go. So you're imagining that in that space, and the breath is an exhale that lets the breath span along the whole fingers, palm fingers, and off and away. So it's 3 breaths. You can always do more, but I just choose 3. We take an inhale and then exhale, blowing away that whatever we don't want to take with us. 2 more. After the next exhale, palms coming together. Either namaste hands, prayer hands, Anjali mudra, one hand over the other, whichever is most authentic to you. Bowing to a place within you where you recognize gratitude to honor one more thing in your life to be grateful for today. I will out. It won't be quite as nice without all of your sound with me, but if you want to join me, you can. It's a quick exhale to fully inhale. A full exhale, and a full inhale to Om. And breathing in and breathing out. Namaste. All right, thanks for sticking with me through all the trials and tribulations. It'll be a lot smoother next time, I hope. All right, have a great day.